Alright, Scout, it is almost time to go to bed.
Can you read me a bedtime story first?
Sure, what will it be? We've already finished Farewell to Arms, The Jungle, To Kill a Mockingbird, The Crucible, The Awakening, The Great Gatsby, Scarlet Letter, A Streetcar Named Desire, and Their Eyes Were Watching God, not to mention an extensive list of short stories, famous letters, and poems, though not exactly in that order, all valuable, enjoyable, educational pieces of literature. You will definitely pass your AP Literature and Composition exam.
What about The Adventures of Huckleberry Finn by Mark Twain?
Oh dear me, is that on the teacher syllabus too? We almost forgot that one. Okay, that's the one then. Are you listening?
Yes, Atticus. Isn't this book really long?
Traditionally, yes, but I have the abridged version. It would be roughly 25 minutes to read. Alright, here we go. You don't know about me without you have read a book by the name of The Adventures of Tom Sawyer, but that ain't no matter.
But we haven't read The Adventures of Tom Sawyer, Atticus.
We haven't read it because it's not on the teacher's reading list, Scout. You can read it over this summer if you would like.
Like, we'll have time for it this summer. We already have to read pretty big books, not to mention summer jobs, volunteer work, sports, college visits, surviving.
Don't worry. Huck Finn just said it didn't matter whether you've read The Adventures of Tom Sawyer or not.
You're right, Atticus. You can continue reading.
Thank you, Scout. That book was made by Mr. Mark Twain, and he told the truth mainly. There were some things that he stretched, but mainly he told the truth.
Hello, I'm Huck Finn. Today, I'm playing hide-and-go-seek with my friend Jim. He's already hiding. Will you help me find him? You will? Great. Let's go. Oh, Jim, where did you go, Jim? Okay, Jim. I give up. You win. Do you see him? You do? Where? Oh no, it's Edgar Allan Poe!
Come to the dark side of individualism. It's the only way. Feel the power of the dark side of literature.
I don't want to travel out of the realism literature period.
I shall not separate you from your desire, and since it is your wish, you can say goodbye to your dear friend Jim. You're too late. Your friendship, nevermore.
Oh no, Edgar Allan Poe, no swiping, no swiping, no swiping! Whatever will I do? What's that? Follow them.
Atticus, are you sure this is how the story really goes? It sounds like Dora the Explorer.
How would you know? Dora won't become popular for another 70 years. Anyway, it is called The Adventures of Huckleberry Finn. It sounds as though Huckleberry is about to go on an adventure, but like Huckleberry said at the beginning of the story, the truth may be stretched, just a bit.
It doesn't sound like he has a very good chance of succeeding. He must have a lot of courage to go out all by himself looking for his friend Jim.
Well, Huckleberry is rather independent, Scout. Courage is knowing that you're licked before you begin, but you begin anyway, and you see it through no matter what. You rarely win, but sometimes you do.
Geez, I'm hungry. Gotta go, catch a squirrel or something. Never mind.
Elizabeth? Is that you?
No, I'm Huck. Why are you talking so funny?
Because it is my speech!
Okay, alright. Why are you in jail?
Because it is my fault!
Okay, alright. Do you need help?
No.
I'm good at getting people out of jails.
No. 'Tis alright. I am simply going to confess my sins.
Well, wait up now. You hear there are several rules that I follow throughout my life. My first is to never confess.
So I shouldn't admit my sins?
I don't know what your sins are, but never admit nothing.
What am I to say? I shall never confess on behalf of those who live in fear. That would be blasphemy upon myself and upon the people of this world.
I don't know. If you want to save your own skin, why would you let others make you fall for their sins?
It is out of fear that they act like this. The fear that allows them to subject me to this punishment.
You not gonna sacrifice yourself?
It is a funny thing that happens when you die. all of a sudden the world begins to listen.
Alright.
"'Tis my name!"
That was the finest gentleman I ever knew.
He has his goodness now. God forbid I take it from him.
What in the name?
Nevermore.
Why did John Proctor choose to die when he could have lived?
Well, Scout, every person has his own reasons for the choices he makes. Each person's reasons are different. You never really understand a person until you consider things from his point of view, until you climb into his skin and walk around in it.
What is an American?
Bless my muddy feet. It's Michelle blah 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 Lequevacool.
What then is the American, this new man?
Well, I reckon myself to be a fine example.
He's either European or of European descent.
Well, I think of myself as mostly, Finn-ish.
It is within this aspect that Americans are defined by their culture.
Indeed, but what is an American?
The man who makes something of himself. For, if you would not be forgotten, as soon as you're dead and rotten, either do things worth the writing, or write things worth the reading.
Well, I done overheard your conversation there, and I couldn't help but need to ask you for some help because, I done lost my friend.
Ask away, dear child. For a friend in need is a friend indeed.
Yes. Well, I got launched through space and time and to all these places, and I'm trying to help the people there. But then this Mr. Edgar Allan Poe, he fancy pants ruins everything by sending me to a new place every time I get close to helping somebody.
So that man is the source of your frustrations?
Well, yes, he is.
Does that seem reasonable to you, Mr.
Huck, Huckleberry Finn. I got my reasons. Everything was fine before EAP showed up.
Your anger clouds your vision, young American.
Yes. You react to your situation, but when a person's reasons are subject to something as trying as this, well then,
The only way to come out successful is to lead by faith.
Huh.
The way to see by faith is to shut the eye of reason. Yes, shut the eye of reason.
You should write a book, man. To reach my goal, I gotta let go of reason and faith. Ah, okay.
You're going to be letting go of a lot more than just reason, boy.
Atticus, those men were real nice to Huck.
Most people are, Scout, when you finally see them.
When a boy embarks on a quest across the plains of existence to save his friend, universe-threatening paradoxes ensue.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is on this fine day that we give you the 2 contestants of the Emerson-Hawthorne Games.
I see that your height lends itself to the significance of your literary works.
Your hair depicts that of the nature of your literature, going in every which direction to put on a show, yet it fails, for all it does is confuse your audience.
Words, so innocent and powerless as they are, as standing in a dictionary, how potent for good and evil they become, in the hands of one who knows to combine them. It is within this respect that you lack potency. I have written books on the nature of humanity. You merely write essays.
Character is higher than intellect. A great soul will be strong to live as well as to think.
Time is irrelevant in the course of human nature.
Why couldn't Emerson and Hawthorne respect each other as fellow writers? I like both their writings equally. If there's just one kind of folks, why can't they all get along with each other? If they're all alike, why do they go out of their way to despise each other?
Do you remember when you told me your English teacher said Emerson and Hawthorne did not get along? I guess we know what happened between those two in the end. Yet they have taught us something. Do not act as they did when you are angry, Scout. You might hear some ugly talk in your life, but do one thing for me if you will. You just hold your head high and keep those fists down. No matter what anybody says to you, don't let them get your goat. Try fighting with your head for a change.
Hey, who are you? Hey, say you kind of look like my pop.
Do you have any matches?
Oh no, I'm just a small child. The widow won't let me have none. Why are you shaking it? It makes me all over, trembling and feverish. just looking at you.
It is so cold. Aren't you cold?
No, it's a nice spring day. Hey, maybe you could borrow some matches from someone else. Pop always said it weren't no damage to borrow things, but the widow said it weren't anything but a soft name for stealing. Jim said he reckoned. Hey, say, have you seen Jim? I'm looking for him. We was playing hide and seek when Edgar Allan Poe took him and through a time portal because I wouldn't go to the dark side of individuals.
Darn those dark individualist writers. The realism period is when you learn about human nature.
Yeah. So anyway, I keep hearing Edgar Allan Poe's voice. It's like when Harry hears the basilisk in Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets. It's driving me bonkers.
Look, kid, whoever you are, I can't help you. I thought you might have some matches or a blanket or a dog that I could kill and bury my hands in to keep warm. Do you have any of those you can lend me before I die of this insufferable cold?
No, it is not even cold.
Figures. I thought all a man had to do was keep his head and he was all right. I thought any man who was a man could travel alone. But when it's 75 below zero, a man must not fail in his first attempt to build a fire. The lesson: never travel alone, boy.
Okay. Thanks, mister.
To build a fire, man.
Oh, thanks, Mr. To build a fireman. Hey, how come you don't have a proper name?
Jack London never gave me one. He also never gave me knowledge of proper survival skills. Why are you chewing on me, boy? It's so cold. I think I'm just gonna take a nice little nap. Oh, it's all warm and cozy now. Like I never needed to struggle. Thank you, my boy. I made you start the Boy Scouts of America to teach young men such as yourself the survival techniques I lack. That is, if I live long enough to learn about them and ever get the heck out of this godforsaken Klondike region of Alaska. The motto shall be prepared, since I'm obviously not. Good night.
I ain't a-going back there. That man is crazy. Hey, Mr. Time Portal, wait up. I gotta keep looking for Jim.
You are correct, boy. You are not going back there. You're going back in time.
Again?
Did that man die, Atticus?
We do not know, Scout. He may have gone on to start the Boy Scouts of America, for all we know.
Did he really, Atticus?
You may never know. People in their right minds never take pride in their talents or achievements. He most certainly was not in his right mind.
Hey, have you seen a man come by recently? He goes by the name of Jim.
Hello? What? Oh, sorry, old sport. I didn't see you there. Here, come, walk with me.
Oh yeah, sure. Sounds like a right-off thing to do.
You see this? All of this? I own this.
Wow, that's a lot to own.
Yes, well, I've come a long way since I was your age.
And I've come a long way to find my friend Jim. Have you seen him?
James? Your friend James, you say? Well, no one's called me James for years. How did you know my name was James Gatz?
I didn't.
Oh, and I'm sure you didn't know that I'm really the son of poor sharecroppers. Only went to Oxford for 5 months because I was in the army, and I'm only rich because I was a bootlegger during the Prohibition era. A lot of rich people, newly rich people are. What kind of row are you trying to cause anyhow? Who could have told you this? Was it my best friend, Nick Carraway?
I don't know anything about you, mister. Honest.
Oh, why, you're just a little chap. Aren't you, old sport? Well, pardon my previous outburst. That does not usually occur often. You see, well, my goodness, my manners are atrocious today. May we start over?
Sure we can, Mr.
Jay. My name is Jay Jay Gatsby. And you are?
Oh, I'm Huck. Huckleberry Finn. That is from the realism period of literature.
Mr. Mark Twain's work. I presume published in February 1885. I've read about you at Oxford. The 1920s are wonderful. So many lovely parties. Say, son, are you staying in town for a smidge? You can come to my next one and meet my best friend. people who attend my parties and actually know up to 2. 1, 2. Oh, if only Jay-Z would come. Jay-Z!
Wait a minute. I didn't go back in time. I went forward. That trickster Poe. Excuse me, Mr. J. Revelist. I mean, J. Gatsby. Mr. J. Gatsby, I don't mean to bother you, but I was wondering. I've been on an adventure looking for my friend Jim, and I was here to be beat.
Did you say James? How do you know my real name is James? Oh, we've already been through this before. Unless, of course... Your friend James. No, I'm afraid I've not seen him. Unless, of course, he came to my last party.
No, I don't think he would have come to your party. Well, goodbye, Mr. J. Revelist. I mean, J. Gatsby.
Goodbye, old sport. Say, if you're in the 1920 New York again sometime soon, come to one of my parties. It'll be grand, but prior to that, you must really work on your elocution. It is rather important if you ever want to increase your station in life.
Listen. They're a rotten crowd. The people at your parties, you're worth the whole darn bunch of them put together. That man seems awful lonely. I'm lucky to have people care about me like Jim. Jim, I will find you.
Or won't you, old sport?
Why is Jay Gatsby so troubled, Atticus?
He has a guilty conscience. He broke the law to get ahead in order to gain the things that his true love wanted him to have. Now that his true love turned out not to be so true at all, he has to live with the guilt of lying and cheating, going along with the majority of people who wanted to get rich fast in the 1920s. However, the one thing that does not abide by majority rule is the person's conscience.
Gatsby's right about one thing, though. Huck has pretty poor grammar.
Yes, he does. But bad language is a stage all children go through, and it dies with time when they learn they're not attracting attention with it. Some hear America singing, the very carols they hear. The carpenter singing as he measures his plank or beam, the mason singing as he makes ready for work or leaves off work, the boatman singing what belongs to him in his boat, the deckhand singing on his steamboat deck, each singing what belongs to him or her and no one else.
Some sing America. Some laugh and eat well and grow strong.
Some sit and look out upon all the sorrows of the world and upon all oppression and shame. Some observe the slights and degradations cast by arrogant persons upon laborers, the poor, and upon Negroes, and the like. All these, all meanness and agony without end, those sitting and looking out, see, hear, and are silent.
They, too, are America.
Please contribute to alleviation of poverty and hunger in your area and in America. Simple ways you can do this are as follows.
Number 1.
Donate to your local food bank.
Number 2.
Donate a new or gently used coat or toy to your local holiday coat or toy drive.
Number 3.
Participate in community service and volunteer work focusing on the alleviation of poverty and hunger.
This has been a public service announcement brought to you by Walt Whitman and Langston Hughes.
You see, Scout, it does not matter where a person comes from or what he goes through in his life. There's just one kind of folks.
Yeah, I heard you the first time, Stella. You don't need to yell at me again.
Oh my. Aren't you just a walking gorilla?
What's it to you, buddy? You act like you got something high and mighty about yourself, as if you've got a hold on your life.
Well, mister, what's it to you?
Now you listen here, little guy. My name's Stanley Kowalski. You come here on my property, giving me the rules to run my place.
Wait, mister, I'm sorry, I didn't mean nothing. I got some problems of my own.
So the super kid ain't so super? You's one weird kid. Alright, since you're so puny and remind myself of a little me, I'll help you, little guy.
Really?
Down on this side of New Orleans, we have this thing called the Napoleonic Code. Its purpose to establish dominance. Okay. I'll show you how it's done. Hey, Stella! Baby! Don't yell at me like that. Yes, I did call your sister a canary.
I think I should leave. Yeah.
Stop it! And that's how you do it, kid.
I think you messed up a little A little bit.
I'm gonna hit you in the neck.
Your performance was most satisfactory, Mr. Kowalski. Now I am here to end this little charade. You have developed along your journey, Huckleberry Finn, so much so that you think of yourself as a quality human being. Yet I am here to take you to the dark side of individualism.
The dark side of individualism. It's all about the new self. You know, the new self.
Some man he was. You should go to an insane asylum.
Come, Finn, join me. Do it to save your friends.
If there's one thing that I've learned today, it's that there is inherent goodness in people, that there are redeeming qualities in each and every single person. People may fail, but as long as you never give up, they can keep going.
You've learned so much, young one.
You'll find our full of surprises.
Your destiny is with me, Finn.
No!
It is useless to resist. Don't let yourself be destroyed as Obi-Wan or Stanley did. Join me with my strength. We can end the destructive conflict of the order of the galaxy or American universe.
I'll never join you!
It is time to tell you the truth, Huck. I am your father. Well, at least in the sense of composition idealism.
No! It can't be true! No! No!
7 years ago, our fathers brought forth on this continent a new nation, conceived in liberty and dedicated to the proposition that all men are created equal. I stand on this battlefield here today just for this equality. Mr. Edgar Allan Poe, I cannot never allow the pessimism of the dark side of individualism to reign over American literature.
No!
It's time to send you back to your own literary period.
Yeah! Go drink more alcohol and reminisce on the meaning of life! Yeah! Yeah!
Huckleberry Finn, most esteemed time traveler, I believe you've had yourself a mighty struggle. Similar to the struggle of America as it faced the implications of the peculiar institution it fostered. A peculiar institution that enslaved your friends. Here he comes now.
Oh, Jim! It's really you!
Indeed. Reunion is joyous.
Let's go home, Jim.
Nah, man, I'm free here.
What do you mean, free? This is the South.
I'm free from the fear of thinking that you will grow up in this here world and find yourself in situations most unreasonable. So unreasonable that you allow yourself to be buried in suffering.
Jim, you know I did all those things for you. Don't you worry about nothing but yourself.
I believe I can rest easy from this day on out.
It is within these boundaries of human character that I cannot dedicate, I cannot consecrate, I cannot hollow my life for far greater reason than that of which I see on this day. I see our nation bonded together by a universal force in the hearts of our people, the people who believe in an inherent good, building this nation on the strongest ideals. The future of the nation is the future of the people.
If I'd have known what a trouble it was to make a book, I wouldn't have tackled it. And ain't going to no more. But I reckon I got to light out for the territory ahead of the rest because Aunt Sally's going to adopt me and civilize me. And I can't stand it. But I've been there before. The end. Yours truly, Huck Finn. Scout, I want you to remember something from Huckleberry's story. As you grow older, you'll see men mistreat other men every day of your life. But let me tell you something and don't you forget it. Whenever a man does that to another man, no matter who he is, how rich he is, or how fine a family he comes from, that man is trash.
I will. Thank you for reading to me, Atticus. There's no doubt I'll pass the AP Language and Composition test now. Good night.
Good night, Scout. Oh, Scout, I didn't tell you. We're descendants of Edgar Allan Poe.
What? No!